What did he say? More importantly, what did he do? We're talking about the billionaires. Are they giving us a clear message about gold and silver? You're going to want to hear this. But more importantly, do you possibly have a dime at your house right now that could be worth thousands of dollars? Because we've got a special guest. This is a special live stream. We're being joined by the one and only, the king of junk silver, the Fred Sanford of junk silver. He's got the fastest growing gold and silver channel on the internet. His name is Coin Shop. Chris, welcome to Ron's Basement.
Ron, I hope you are doing all right, and everybody else watching is doing all right.
We're doing great. We're glad you're here, and you've got some great stories for us. You're going to tell us about this dime that we might have, and a story about one of your customers having found one of these dimes that could be worth a lot of money. But first, I want to talk about the billionaires, Chris, because we got this big breaking news story about the billionaires. This one comes from Market Watch. The billionaires, this is what they're saying. The billionaires have been beating the stock market. Where they are putting their money now, according to UBS, and UBS is that big Swiss bank, like they're like the Swiss bank. So they know what they're talking about. They did a study, but there's something very interesting in here about precious metals. In red, wealthy individuals want assets that protect from market storms in 2025. And here's the part that we want to read. While global stock markets have been on a pretty good run over the past decade, the billionaires have apparently got them beat. According to data, they did better. That's not it. Hold on. There's a little graph that shows how, go imagine, the billionaires made more money than everybody else. But what they said about gold is fascinating. Okay, in green. So what are the billionaires doing? How do they plan to hang on to their wealth? The UBS research finds those asset class views shifting as U.S. and Eurozone central banks lower rates. In red, over the next year, 43% of billionaires said they would boost exposure to real estate and 42% to developed market equities. But they're also looking to increase investments in quote unquote perceived havens from market storms. In yellow, the part that we want to pay attention to, with 40% of the billionaires signaling intentions to boost gold and precious metals exposure. Chris, what do you make of this? The billionaires are now joining the basement dwellers.
Well, look, Ron, I'm seeing the same thing at the shop. We just sold this past Monday, one guy bought 9 monster boxes of Canadian maple leaves. That was a pretty big sale for the shop. I wish it was my shop. I don't own the shop. But, we're seeing an uptick on silver, more so than gold right now. Gold is going out the door. But, more and more people realize that silver is so undervalued, and they're going for the silver at this time.
Wow, that's interesting. So you had one customer who bought, you said 9 monster boxes?
9 monster boxes, yes.
Wow. They must have had a good vehicle to drive those home in, right?
Well, yeah, he came and picked them up this morning, and because we got them in yesterday, he ordered them Monday, and of course we didn't have them in the shop. We didn't have that many in the shop, but we did let him have one monster box on Monday, and the rest of them came in today, or yesterday, I should say, and he came and picked them up this morning. So
did you help load them up?
Yeah, 44 pounds each. Not light.
Yeah, so, and how many monster boxes can you carry at one time?
Just one. I'm not going to carry 2. I'm not going to get myself a hernia.
You can put one on your head and one in each arm, Chris. Come on.
That's right. You be the Superman. I'll be Minnie Mouse.
We'll throw another one in the backpack. We're gonna get to this story next about this dime. Fascinating story about a dime. I was shocked. I still don't really believe this, but a dime that could be worth thousands of dollars. First, I do want to run out to channel sponsor Pinbex. We'll go check on the gold and silver price, check the Pinbex magic button, and the price hasn't changed because the market's closed, but we got gold at $26.35 here over the weekend. Silver a penny shy of $31 per ounce. Thank you, Pinbex, for sponsoring Ron's Basement. Thank you, Pimbex, for providing such a great service to our community. What they do for you is give you a great selection of product, absolute, pretty much anything you could ask for. They give you ultra competitive pricing. And on top of that, it's a company you can trust, which is probably the most important thing. Whenever you're buying bullion from anybody, you want to work with a company you can trust. I worked with Pimbex before they sponsored Ron's Basement. Thank you, Pimbex. And Coin Shop Chris, tell us the story about this dime. This is fascinating.
Okay, well, I won't say the name of the bullion company. These were wrap rolls. Come in, and we always ask our customers, he had 6, 7 rolls, just whatever the case it was. And I said, "Do you have a few minutes? We can take a look through the dimes, make sure there's no key dates in there." He said, "Yeah, go ahead." So we looked through them. There happened to be a
Wait. Can I ask you a question? You're saying somebody came into your shop, just a regular Joe off the street customer, and he had several rolls of silver dimes, I guess, that he wanted to sell. That he wanted to sell to you.
Yes.
That he wanted to sell to you. Okay, I'm sorry.
And they were wrapped in from a bullion company. I will not say the name, but we found a 1916D Mercury silver dime. Probably very, very fine condition. We looked in the book. The book's for about $5,500, maybe a little bit more than that. So we offered him $4,800 for the dime, or we can have it get tested, graded, not tested, but have it sent over graded. Maybe we can give him more money when it comes in. At first, he was going to take the $4,800. Then he decided, you know what, if I can get a couple $100 more, because we would have to sell that particular dime to another coin shop, because our coin shop does not really sell that top of a grade of a coin. So he asked our owner, can he get some money in advance? And our owner says, I'll give you $1,500 right now, so you can get through the Christmas season. So that is what we're going to do. We will see what it comes back at. We think it's going to come back as in very fine, maybe extra fine. If it comes back as an extra fine, I mean, we're talking $8,000.
What? For a dime?
For a dime. That was.
I've got a couple here that Big Tim the Silvershire gave me. Was it one of these kind of dimes? What are these called? I'm not a coin guy. Okay, I'm a bullion, strictly an ounce guy. Is that the kind of dime? Can you see, Chris?
That is the kind of dime. It's either called a Mercury dime,
a Mercury,
or a Liberty Head dime, a wing Liberty.
So if this said 1916D on it, and I would be. Excuse me.
And it don't.
Oh no, this one does. One's the 1916D.
Yeah. Right.
Sorry, I gotta go. There's no way that a dime is worth $8,000. Are you serious?
The mintage on that year was 284,000 minted. If I can remember that on top of my head, someone will correct me in the comments, please, if I'm not right. 200 lowest minted, first year minted, lowest mint were minted in that year. Yes, very rare dime. Who knows how this company missed that dime? Don't know, but it happens, folks. It does happen from time to time. They get missed. And this is why, most coin shops, would see these dimes, pay you up. You walk out the door, and you're gone. We got no contact information for that customer. That'd be a win-win for the coin shop. We tried to get phone numbers, and we get bags of dimes from customers, bags of silver quarters, whatever the case may be.
Let me ask you a question. So this guy came in off the street. You don't really know him. He's got some rolls of dimes. He says, I want to sell these to you. And what's a dime melt for now? A couple bucks, $2 or $3, a junk silver dime. You are the king of junk silver.
Silver dimes are melting for $2.24 as we speak.
Okay, $2.24. So each one of these, it blows me away, is each one of these little dimes that I have is actually worth $2, correct?
Correct. Melt value.
Melt value, right. So this guy brings in some rolls. He wants to sell them to you, expecting he's only going to get melt value. You could have very easily just said, yeah, here you go. I don't know how many he had. If he had 100 of them, he'd get a couple $100, $220, whatever the case may be. But you said, let us take a look through these real quick to make sure that there's nothing real valuable. And as you did, you discovered that there's a coin in there that's worth probably somewhere between, let's say, $4,000 and possibly on the high end, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, correct?
Yeah.
And you could have just paid him $2 for it and let him go out the door, Chris.
We could have paid him we
wow.
$2.40. That's what we're paying right now. We're paying 24 times space. We're selling for 25 times space.
Okay.
And yeah, okay. We could have paid him $2.40 and let him walk out the door.
Wow.
But that's not the right thing to do. And a lot of coin shops will just say, okay, you got this much, times it by whatever they're going to pay it for. And then the coin shop's never going to look through these. And guess what? The coin shop wins that much more money.
Yeah. Well, you're a good, honest guy, Chris. And in the end, the cream will rise to the top. So keep up the good work. Have you heard what's going on in Missouri with gold and silver? I want to touch on that and get your opinion real quick, Chris.
Absolutely, Ron.
Okay. So there's new legislation being proposed in Missouri. I'll pull this up, but we'll talk about this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this article because we talked about it during. Oh, where'd it go? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. There it is. Here we go. This comes from the 10th Amendment Center, but we got Missouri Constitutional Money Act. There's actually a couple bills being filed in Missouri, the highlights of which are this. They include stipulations that no CBDC will ever exist in the state of Missouri. They also have, obviously, the silver and gold legal tender component to it. The gold and silver would be legal tender. It gets rid of the capital gains tax. So what I think is so interesting about Missouri is that one of these bills actually then stipulates that the Missouri treasurer would need to hold at least 1% of the state's funds in physical gold and silver. What do you think of this legislation? I know there's a number of states that are going to be proposing it this year.
Well, look, I mean, let's talk about this digital currency first. They don't want it in their state. Okay, if we go to a digital currency, what's going to happen? How are those states going to get funded for one? Is it going to be are they going to be on their own? Is the Fed going to do something different for these states? We don't know. I think it's going to the silver and gold legislation. Why do we even need it? It's in our Constitution that it's legal tender. But now we got to go back into to making laws for these states and saying we can use silver and gold as legal tender. It's a little crazy, but yeah, I think a lot of these states, we got 22 states coming on board, maybe even Texas now. There's even talks about Oklahoma coming on board with this. Ron, I mean, it's going to be just about half the states are coming on board with this, and it's just going to be a matter of time before all 50 states do come on board with this, because this is the way we're going. Silver and gold is real money. It's the only money. It's not no paper dollars everybody thinks we're using now. It's not. It's a promise. The dollar is a promise, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, and thank you, Don Howe, for the super chat. And I got another super chat I want to recognize as well. Double Don. Thank you for the super chats tonight. I agree with you 100%, Chris. It's a rare occasion that you and I agree on something on multiple points, but we do on this one, right? Gold and silver are the only forms of real money. At the end of the day, I always come back to this fact, and the fact of the matter is that throughout history, any other form of money, paper money, electronic money, eagle stamps, I don't care what you're talking about, they all wind up being worthless. That's a fact. Like, that has happened over and over and over again, and then the money system has always reverted back to gold and silver. Are we in a new age, a new era? I'm sure that all these other times in the past, people thought we were as well, right? Like, we'd moved on to different forms of money, but it always comes back to gold and silver. And, whether you're talking, well, you want to talk about crypto for just a second, Chris? Because there's a crypto craze going on that we can't ignore right now.
Well, you know how much I love that, Rob.
For those of you who don't know, CoinShop Chris is not a big fan of cryptocurrency. I don't want to raise your blood pressure, but can I show you this? What I think is an incredible article about what's going on in the crypto. Just in my opinion, crypto bubble going on right now. So let's go out to this one.
Just to make it clear, Ron, you don't own any crypto, right?
No, I do not own any cryptocurrency. I never have. No, I do not own any crypto. Correct. Right. I'm not anti-crypto, but I don't own any, and I think that kind of indicates my feeling it. But this is crazy, Chris. Have we reached peak stupidity? This is from the Silver Academy. The answer is no. The Hawk Tua meme coin loses investors 88% of their money in minutes. So there's a girl named Haley Welch. For those of you who don't know, the Hawk Tua girl, I'll let you do your own research, but she was like an internet sensation. And she went on to capitalize from this Hawk Tua thing that she did, which was just like you got to watch it. It's very interesting, kind of funny. And she seems like a nice girl, right? She's a 21-year-old internet personality from Tennessee, I believe. And capitalizing on her viral fame, she just launched the Hawk meme coin on the Solana blockchain just a few days ago. But listen to what happened with this. The launch was initially successful, with the market cap soaring to nearly, remember this number, this is how crazy things are, $500 million. However, within 20 minutes of the launch, the value of the Hawk to a meme coin, whatever you want to call it, plummeted within 20 minutes by 88%, crashing to only 60 million. They're calling it a rug pull. It was an inside deal, whatever. But think about this. I mean, look, she's very funny. She's very nice. I like her. I think she's funny. But she created a cryptocurrency that was temporarily worth $500 million, Chris. What do you think about that?
Well, it goes to that, and it goes down 88%, Ron. I mean, who's really profiting from this? Is it her? Is it her? If it's her managers, what? I mean, it's based on a computer. That's what I say. It's cryptocurrencies is based on the computer. It can crash physical silver and gold either at home or in a vault storage somewhere. Silver and gold has never gone to zero. In 5,000 years, it's always been worth something.
Yeah.
So cryptos have never been to a world war, never been to a stock market real crash. And are we about to see a stock market crash? Well, look at the stock market. It's in a bubble. Most stocks are in a bubble. Silver and gold is it's going to do very well. We're about to have a third interest rate cut. And that is just prime. That is prime for silver and gold after the third cut.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to show you some data here, and I agree with 100%. We're absolutely in a bubble. Just look at this chart. This shows that like the total market cap of the entire silver mining industry is $19 billion. Okay. If you go up and look here at some of the other meme coins like Doji coin, which was created as a joke at the time that this chart was made in the last few weeks, who knows what the market cap is now, but it was $64 billion. These are joke coins. That was the guy that created Doji coin has stated that it was a joke. He did it on a Saturday night, or I don't know, I forget the story. Pepe coin. I mean, these coins, right, are worth more. The Doji coin is worth like 3 times, maybe 4 times now more than the entire market cap of the entire silver mining industry. It just shows you how disconnected these things are. And you said something earlier, Chris, that I want to extrapolate upon. The thing is this, and I think it was Rick Rule saying this, and it made so much sense to me. All the Bitcoin stuff, all the crypto stuff, it's all about price. All people talk about is the price. Nobody talks about whatever value it has, right? And I know Bitcoin has the blockchain and XRP has payment capabilities, whatever. But really, right, all people are looking at is price. They're not looking at like value. Like, what does it really represent? You know, like that is the value, is the price, which to me sounds like a Ponzi scheme.
Well, Ron, I got a brown paper bag for you. Is anybody willing to pay me $1,000, $1,500 for one brown paper bag? I'll put something inside to you so you can get something at least. Maybe I'll put a eagle in there, but that's what this crypto is. You know, one day it's up, one day it's down. Yeah, to me, it's a Ponzi scheme. You got it right on the nose, right.
You think it's a bubble? Did you ever see my Bitcoin bubble machine that I had, Chris?
Oh,
the Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin bubble gum machine. I tried to sell it, auction it off, but nobody made any offers.
Does it work?
Heck yeah, it works.
Well, let's have an auction.
It dispenses Bitcoin. Okay, you talked about the market being overvalued. Take a look at this, Chris. I can't help but show this. Thanks again, Don, for the super chats. Very, very much appreciated. Look at this. I showed this earlier, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but this is the S&P 500's market cap as compared to the world GDP, to the world economy. And it's now soared to an all-time high of 46%. What's interesting about this is it only got to 39% during the tech bubble, and now the U.S. S&P 500 market cap is equal to almost half of the entire world's gross domestic product. All right. I mean, these numbers, this stuff is crazy. This one shows the price to earnings ratio of the S&P 5. I'm sorry, the tech sector, the top 10 companies in the tech sector in 2024. You can see that green line. It's almost at 30 forward price to earnings ratio. The highest that it got in 2000 was about 25. So we are in bubble territory. I mean, we are in this market, in this economy in the United States that's really just like a fantasy land, right? I mean, nobody cares about value. It's just about, well, why do you buy it? Because the price just keeps going up. The price just keeps going up. And that is like, you're just relying on, they call it the greater fool, right? That some other fool is going to come along after you and pay you more for what you already own.
I mean, what happens if we wake up Monday morning, Ron, and Bitcoin is half of its value? Yeah. Just think of it. Half of its value over the weekend. Not saying that's going to happen. It could happen at any point in time. And they're going to let it ride up. And the people who are inside, it's going to be, someone's going to be left holding the bag. And I hope it's not any of the viewers out there holding the bag. That's what I hope for. I hope nobody loses in that.
Yeah.
But some people will lose.
Yeah. Hey, I want to talk about silver seizure, like your silver being confiscated by the government. That's the subject that a lot of silver stackers get all worked up about. And somebody pointed out something crazy that's actually happened during the history of our country. But first, you wanted to give everybody a big warning about silver. This is Coin Shop Chris, guys. Oh, before I forget, Chris, let's go out. I want to show everybody what is now the fastest growing YouTube channel that focuses on silver and gold. And you can just go to YouTube and go into the search bar and put in Coin Shop. I put in Coin Shop. You can even put in Coin Shop Chrissy, but I'd recommend putting in Coin Shop Chris, and this will come up. You'll see Coin Shop Chris. You click on it there, right? And there's his channel. You press subscribe. Chris has been putting out great content every single day. Do you have a warning for the what do you think, Chris, about the 90% silver?
I do. This I did a video, as you can see right down at the bottom there on. People are finding 90% silver in pocket change. And this is the time of year, and this has probably been one of the worst years I've seen in a long time. People are so desperate for money right now for the holidays. They're cashing in their coins at the bank. And what's happening, he's getting rolls. They're getting out to retail stores, and people are finding coins in circulation. I had a viewer. His name was Ron, by the way. Ron. He's a viewer of yours also. His wife found a 1908 Barbara dime. worth about $15. You know, it's in
Wow.
pretty good shape. Ron emailed me that, and I told him what it was worth, and he says going in a stack. I stack nickels, so I've been seeing a lot more home rolls than bank rolls than I've seen before. Even at the shop, we're getting more customer rolls than bank rolls. People are desperate for money. Folks, please keep your eyes out on a change. If you're into coin roll hunting, go to your local bank and ask them if they have any customer rolls. If you stack nickels, if you stack copper pennies, if you are looking for silver, look, get it from one bank, take the junk back to another bank, the stuff you don't want, and get your money back. Get your deposit back in your account that way. That way you're not. Go ahead.
It was 2 Christmases ago, and I got 4 new ones when I was at the bank the other day. But I got 4 rolls of 50-cent pieces, and we found, and I don't do this on a regular basis, but we did find in 4 out of 4 rolls that I got from my local bank, I found 2, like, I don't know, early 1900 silver 50-cent pieces, and I got to tell you, it was exciting. It was fun.
I believe you found a Walken and you found a Franklin. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fluke, and I thought, oh, we'll try it again. So we haven't opened them yet, but we've got 4 rolls upstairs. And there's people that do that. I've seen it on the internet. I mean, they just like go around and order boxes full of like 50-cent pieces, or I guess silver dollars, whatever it may be, hoping that they're going to find some silver kind of hidden in there.
The half dollars, the half dollars are really the key ones to go after, because the half dollars are not in circulation a lot.
Right.
And, when people start dumping them off, especially the 40%, 90% is kind of common in the half dollar rolls too. But this time of year, folks, it's going to be it's not going to be, not guaranteeing nothing here, but you might have a better chance of finding some silver at face value if you have the time to hunt in some rolls. And it don't be a lot of money. It can be $50-$60 at a time, and we keep doing it all throughout the year, because you never know.
Right. You know what I just thought of, Chris?
What's that, Mr. Ron?
I was looking at your festive. That's a very festive picture that you have for us today.
That is a picture of your second house, Ron.
Yeah, that's my second home. That puts me in the Christmas spirit. I always, but that's very nice. Thank you for sharing that. Makes me want to sing a Christmas carol. Now, but let me ask you a question about silver. True or false that there was legislation passed at one point in the last 100 years, right? Silver seizure legislation from an executive order from one of our previous presidents to seize all the country's silver. True or false?
I believe that is true, Ron.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Did you? How did you know that, Chris?
I don't know what president did that. I have no idea, but that is true.
Yeah, it is true. I want to show you this. Here it is. Is this it right here? Yeah. So let me get rid of that. Okay. So this was an old article from 2012, but one of our community members sent this to us. Silver confiscated by Franklin Roosevelt. Okay. What seems to have been forgotten is that silver was effectively confiscated as well after the gold confiscation. I've been involved in silver for 25 years, and this fact was unknown to me. That's the author saying that. 16 months after signing the gold confiscation order, Roosevelt signed Executive Order 6814, confiscating silver. I covered this morning in the live stream, but for those that didn't hear it, I had no idea this had been the case. The order is reproduced in full below. It's an interesting comparison to gold. Once the silver had been confiscated, it rose by around 40%, leaving those law-abiding citizens who did surrender their silver worse off financially. So just like with the gold, right? You turn in all your silver, turn in all your gold, and then the government revalued it much higher. But they didn't confiscate coins. So it was I had no idea. And I'd never heard anyone talk about that in the past, that silver was actually confiscated at one point in this country.
Yeah. It was sad. I mean, I was not there. It was before my time. It was before your time, Ron.
Yeah.
But is it going to happen again? No, I don't see that, Ron. To be honest with you, because I know that was going to be your next question. No, I don't see that's going to happen again. I think what could happen. This is a big could. If you are selling it back to a local coin shop or an online bullion dealer, they could, the Fed could step in or the government could step in and say, we want that silver. They will buy it from the local coin shops, buy it from the online dealers. They're not going to come knocking door to door and asking you for your silver and gold. I don't believe that's ever going to happen. And we can always say we lost it in a boating accident or whatever, how you want to phrase it. But no, I don't think that's going to happen. Not with Trump. No, not with Trump.
Yeah. Do you think we'll have a day when we won't be able to get silver anymore as retail investors, or that we'll be in a situation where, like, let's say if you want to buy an American Silver Eagle, that the premium on products like that will be so high that you won't even want to do it?
Well, look at the price of gold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the price is going to have an issue with anything. If silver takes off, let's say the $300-400 an ounce,
right?
There are people going to be up buying silver at $300-400 an ounce. People are just going to get used to the new price, and that's going to be your new price. Yeah, there's going to be people not going to be able to afford it. That will cut it down. But we have to answer your question, Ron, we have always seen that happen back in 2023, where a lot of people couldn't get silver or gold from the bank run. The online dealers didn't have it. The coin shops didn't have it. You've seen it with your own eyes at your own local coin shop. It was out. It was gone.
Yeah, I walked into my local coin shop, which has a huge selection, and it was like barren. I mean, everything was gone, right? That was during the I guess during C19, right? And it kind of happened again during the silver squeeze, and then kind of happened again during the little banking crisis like 18 months ago.
Yes.
Yeah, where it's like it's gone, right? I don't think people realize just how delicate and thin the availability. I think we're spoiled. We are so spoiled in this country as silver investors because, number one, right, the price that we can buy, like if you go to Pimbex to buy silver, right? If you go to let me go out there real quick. If you look at this price for silver on Pimbex, all right, let's just go look at, I don't know, I'm going to pick something random here. Silver Britannia for fun, because I always just like the Britannias. And you look at here we go, 1 ounce British silver Britannia, random year, $33.23. Okay. So they're basing that price off of this price, which is what most of us say is the artificially low COMEX manipulated price. Okay. But then on top, okay. So, but, and whether or not you believe that, whatever, but that's still a low price from a lot of people's perspectives. And some people have strong feelings that that's actually a manipulated low price, but the price that Pimbex and all the bullion dealers are basing their prices off of is indeed that price. And then on top of that, we don't have to pay any type of, and most of us, I guess in 45 states, don't have to pay any type of sales tax either, right? Like we're really spoiled because if you're in Europe and some of these places, they pay like 20%, I think, on certain silver products, these value added taxes and everything else. Like we're pretty spoiled here in the United States.
Yeah, we are. There are some states that have the sales tax on it, like here in Florida. Anything non-American, it's going to be over $500 before it's tax-free. I know California, it don't matter what it is out that way, it's over $2,000. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't have $500, $200 before they can get tax-free, and it's sad. Go to the state of Maine. It's whatever the sales tax is in the state of Maine. What is it? 5% there? So you're paying 5% on everything you buy, but if you go just across the border to New Hampshire, it's tax-free.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely crazy, and to think that it how quickly, and we've experienced it. Like, how can we as silver investors, silver stackers, not be excited about the future because we've experienced it several times now in the past 3 to 4 years where there was no silver available, right? Like I'm happy with the amount of silver that I have. And I've said if now if the price gets back to 27, I will buy some more. But I
Not
mean,
happen.
well, right, but it's just and I hope it doesn't because I got plenty of silver. But it's like to think of the future and knowing how thin the supply of silver is and how quickly it can all be gone, and that's actually happened like 2 or 3 times. And I mean, people were paying people. Chris, let me ask you a question. During the little banking crisis, this is an American Silver Eagle, right? What
Yep.
what were people paying? I think the silver price was like 25 an ounce. What were people paying for one of those during that when the silver pri- price was 25? What were they paying for these?
47, 52, 54, depending what online bowling dealer you were at, depending what area you were in the country. Yeah,
Yeah.
doubled.
That's what I'm saying. It's already happened. It's happened recently. And the situation only continues to get worse. The US debt situation only continues to get worse. The demand, the deficit in the silver market has only continued to get worse. There's no more silver production coming online, right? I think this year silver mining output was maybe it was up. It was up like 1%. I mean, come on. This is, I'm getting excited talking to you, Chris, about the future
Well,
of silver.
what got people frustrated with, especially silver on, with the premiums on the silver eagles, that scared a lot of people out of the market. Now they
Mm-hmm.
paid those high prices. They're not getting the premiums back right now. You paid that. You walk into any coin shop, you're not going to get nowhere near your money back, what you
Yeah.
paid for it. And that scared a lot of people out of the market. But remember, the times were different back then. And silver and gold is a sprint. No, excuse me, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You gotta hold it for a long time. I got that backwards. It must be late at night. So
And think about this, Chris. The premiums, premiums are low right now, right? To me, premiums seem really low. I mean, if I can buy a UK Britannia for what, $2 over spot almost. Hold on, let me look one more time. And this is 33. Yeah, basically $2, a little over $2 over spot. And it's not just Britannias, and it's not just Pinbacks across the board. The premiums are low. Think about that. The silver price, right, at $30. I know we got the 35, but the silver price has done very well. The premiums tell us one thing. And when we have low premiums, that means we have subdued demand in the retail investment market, right? And I'd say, would you agree that the premiums are pretty low right now in
the
the REIT?
frames, although they have been lower in
Mm-hmm.
this past year, but yeah, they're pretty reasonable right now. American Eagles are still quite high, I would
Yeah.
say. But your best bang for, if you're in America, your best bang for your buck right now, I'm gonna say it again, it's your 90% silver all gosh darn day long. That is your best bang for your buck right now.
And Coin Shop Chris is not trying to sell you anything. He's not telling you to go to anywhere and come buy from him or anything like that. He's giving you the pure unfiltered truth. But the fact that we've got the silver price has grown to where it is. I mean, we're building the base at $30, Chris. I mean, look, we could drop below. I know you say we'll never see 27 again. I hope I never get to buy any more silver at $27 an ounce. But we're consolidating, we're building this base right now. But silver has done that with like really overall kind of subdued investor demand in the West. When that investment demand comes back, I mean, just gets back to normal, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. There's not going
Yeah,
to be any silver.
we had a low back in February of this year on. I believe it was around February 12th. 22.15 in the futures market. Where are we seeing now, everybody? We're over $30 an ounce in
Yeah.
the futures market. Silver has done its job for 2024. If we can maintain this for the next couple weeks, the $30 price level, we have done pretty gosh darn good, up nearly 30%.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of silver when it was that back in February one. I bought 2 silver Australian bars for $250 each. I'm kicking myself in the butt today because I didn't buy more back then. The threshold, like I said, in Florida is $500. That got me to my $500 threshold. Today, those same silver bars about $365.
Yeah.
Back in February. So from 250 to 360, silver has done well for me this year. It's all about, sometimes it's timing. I say cost average your stacks. Don't buy it all at once. And I just need everybody to do me one favor. Type number 1 in the comment section from Mr. Ron, because he's the best man on YouTube.
No, you are. I'm gonna go look at something quickly before we sign off. I want to look at the silver chart here. Oh, that's what I have up. Cool. Hold on. Come on, Yahoo. Okay. And I want to show everybody. Okay, so this is the 2011 period where we got above where. Okay, this is going to be interesting, Chris. Okay, can you see the chart on the screen right now?
I can see it. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to get my crayons out real quickly, and if you look right here, so the green line is where we are right now, $31.50. And if you circle this area, okay, and then you look and draw that, I'm going to draw that line. That's the price where we are right now. We didn't spend much time, and I mean, maybe a year, maybe during that time period above where we are now. And if we zoom in on this chart and we just do a 6-month chart, okay, and you look at where we are right now, that dotted line, we only popped up really above and broke through that 31, 32 range from what? That was October 16th through October 11/4. So for about 2 weeks, right? There's only 2 weeks worth of people that bought silver, what I'm saying, higher than where we are right now. Okay. Unless you want to go back to the people that bought back in 2011, but I think most of them are washed out at this point. So there's only this little group of people that are sitting on silver that they bought it when the price was 33, 34. I mean, really, it touched, look at that. I mean, it was only touched 35 for probably a couple hours or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's just not a ton of people sitting around right now saying, oh boy, I just bought silver 3 weeks ago for $35. I'm going to sell it when it gets there again. They're just not, you know what I mean? There's no big supply of silver that's going to come on the market to tamp the price down once we go to run up through there again. Because man, once we get into that 33, 34 range, and maybe it won't be the next time, but one of these times we're going to break through there and it's going to be Katie bar the door. We're going to go straight to $44 an ounce. It would have happened. We'd be at 44. We'd probably be at 40 right now had the election turned out differently. The Trump black swan, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but the Trump election and the way that he won and the decisive manner and the level of calm that occurred afterwards, it's like all the opposition to Trump kind of went and hid in holes or something. I think really shocked the market. And then we got the double whammy as gold and silver investors in that then all of a sudden there was this sudden crypto craze that took off. So, you know, it's going to happen. I mean, the coil, the spring has been tightened so tight. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen for silver. And think about this. You were talking earlier. I'm having an explosion of thoughts, Chris, but gold's already been at all-time highs. I mean, you know, I know we all know that, but think about that. And thank you to all you people out there that are joining us right now for this special Saturday night edition of Ron's Basement. We're going to be on for just a few more minutes, so stay because we got some good things to talk about here at the end. But think about this fact that gold's already been recently to all-time highs, right? Silver, we forget about that. Silver is nowhere close, right? Silver's still would have to go up by what, 70% from where it is right now to get an all-time high, right? And silver's story, the fundamentals behind silver are even way better now than they were in 2011.
Well, look, yes, you're absolutely right, Ron. Here's what happened. I do think the election had something to do with it, but we also had the December contracts ending. Now that now we're going into March of 2024. What I'm looking for, and I'm not making no fear mongering or any advice. So please, anybody, don't take this as advice. What I'm thinking is going to happen, watching mid-February, watching mid-March, right before those contracts end again.
Yeah.
We might see a spike between right before they end in March and the new ones coming out after March.
Yeah.
And banks, we have 168 banks in financial crisis right now. When is that bubble going to pop?
Yeah.
That will drive your price of silver and gold up.
Yep. And we got zombie companies. We have like, I don't know, 2,000. We have all these big companies that can't get that aren't generating anywhere near enough income to even pay their interest expense on all the debt they own. There's, it's an interesting times in which we live. Coin Shop Chris, I want to say thank you for joining us again. Another Saturday, wonderful Saturday night live stream. Any parting words you want to have for our audience? And thanks to our audience members as well. Please don't forget, subscribe to Ron's Basement. Go check out Coin Shop Chris on YouTube. Subscribe to him. He puts out something great, interesting every single day. Fastest growing gold and silver channel on YouTube, Coin Shop Chris. And thank you for the super chats, Mr. Don Howe. You're always very generous. We appreciate it. And I guess that's it, Chris. Thank you.
The only thing I got to say is thank you to your viewers. Thank you for helping me with my channel, Ron. And I just got some parting words. We got time to stack still. Stack as much as you can possibly afford to stack. Don't take a loan out on your credit cards. Don't mortgage your house. Don't sell your puppy dog. Don't sell your kitty cat. But really, if you can afford to stack, cost average that out. I cannot stress that portion enough. If you want more information, call Mike and Brian at Pinbacks. They do a great job over there. Ron can tell you that. Get as much information as you can at your local coin show, at your local coin shops, online bullion dealers. Give a chance to Pinbacks and see what they got to say too. And that's all I got to say, Ron. I mean, I see too many times that people come into the shop, they buy too much, and they come in 2 or 3 weeks later. They need to put food on the table, or their vehicle broke down, or they need to pay the mortgage. They said, "Oh crap, I forgot to pay the mortgage. I need to sell some of this." I mean, I don't know how people forget to pay a mortgage, but it happens. Then they lose every single time if they do it 2 or 3 weeks. They're gonna lose.
Yeah,
and it's sad.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. All right. You're the best. You're a great friend. And I'm going to wish you a good remainder of your weekend, and wish the same to our viewer. We'll look forward to talking to you soon.
We'll talk to you soon. See you next week, maybe.
Oh, I got to end the stream. Everybody's still on here. Well, once again, everybody, have a good night.